Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode number 2 in the Becoming You podcast. Today, we're going to look at 6 ways to think positive. I am Jason Sand, and I'm glad that you're tuning in today to focus on positive thoughts. Much of life is about perspective. So today, we're going to look at ways that we can create a positive outlook for ourselves. In the next few minutes, we will look at 6 ways to help you think positive, and I'm even going to throw in one bonus way at the end of this podcast. So what are these 6 ways? Well, let's have a look. Number 1, the first thing is focus on positive things. The second one is find humor in the frustrating. Third, failure is a lesson. 4, create positive self-talk. 5, live in the present. And 6 is find positive people. As for the 7th bonus, you have to listen to the end of the podcast to find out today's nugget. So let's get started. To truly become you, we have to think positive. This simple mindset can shift your focus in the right direction. It also gives us permission to follow our dreams and focus on the future in a positive way. Do you know someone, or are you the person that always brings up negative things all the time? If this doesn't describe you, we at least know someone who believes that everything bad in the world happens to them. Well, how can other people go through life and have amazing things happen? The secret is how you look at the details. Everyone has good and bad things that happen in their life, their relationships, their family, their job, or their day. It's how we react to these things in our life that really matters. So let's look at our first topic, focus on positive things. This is one of the simplest concepts for personal happiness and thinking positively. As I just mentioned, negative people always seem to see those bad things that happen to them. They dwell on it, and they miss paying attention to all the good things that are going on in their life. So be conscious to create a positive mindset and focus on the positive. If it helps you to write down 5 positive things that happen each day to keep a record of the good things in your life, then write them down. It can also be a simple adjustment to the hardships we face each day. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, enjoy your favorite song, or listen to a podcast or an audiobook, maybe this podcast. Enjoy the time that we have in the best way possible, and realize that we cannot focus our energy on things we cannot change. Dwelling on things or trying to move mountains that we cannot move only frustrate us further and allow us to focus on negative things instead of finding the positive in our life. Now, our second topic kind of relates to the first. It's find the humor in the frustrating. We simply can't control all things in life, and there are some of those things that are just frustrating. Humor can be a great way to overcome difficult situations. Even though we can't control the world or other people, we can control how we react to it. So instead of focusing on the negative, redirect your energy and change your focus to dwell on the positive. Look at how you can move past this frustrating situation and try to find something that is humorous inside of that situation. Often when we're able to look back on these frustrating times, we're able to see how comical some of the bits of those things really are. And if during those frustrating times we can find the comical, humorous parts, it can help us work through those situations easier. This can help transition our thoughts from the dark place, the negative, the things that are frustrating us, into that better place, the positive side, looking forward into the future. Our third topic here is that failure is a lesson. No one is perfect, no one's actions are perfect, no one's relationships are perfect. We are always striving to be better in our life. The flip side to this today is that we often see these glossy, glorified personas on social media. People post the best of what they are, what they're doing, and we don't see the real struggle and the real life behind those situations. So it can be easier to think, oh, my life has to be perfect, or I need to do this. This has created a phenomenon where our world needs to look perfect. We need to show everyone that we are succeeding, that we're doing great things all the time. Now, it's okay to filter your social media and show the world the positive things that you're doing, because that also helps with your positive mindset and thinking positively. Show people the good things you're doing each day. But also don't be afraid to show someone what was difficult Or if someone asks you how you're doing, tell them how you're really doing and don't just say, oh, good, and then walk by them and continue on your day without sharing, hey, you know what? Today wasn't as good as yesterday. And that's okay to tell people. So we need to embrace failure. One quote that I love is from Will Smith. And he says, fail early, fail often, and fail forward. You know, it's always kind of frustrating when you have a failure. But if you use it as a stepping stone to move forward in life, to build off that, to make change in the way that you want to so you don't have the same failures over and over again, that's a positive thing. And we all fail, and we all learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. Failure is a massive part of being successful. You have to get comfortable with failure, you have to seek failure, because failure is where all the lessons really are. Now, if you're starting a business, you don't want to strive to fail. But you want to see those little failures along the way to turn it into success. And you want to be comfortable with failure so that when you do fail in something that you need to succeed in the end, you already have that mindset of how you can fail and how you can grow and how you can overcome it. So this brings us to our fourth topic, creating positive self-talk. Negative self-talk can be crippling. The fear of failure is real. The fear of missing out today, or FOMO, is also very real for people. And this can cause many people to not even start something. Looking at our last thoughts on failure, one way to work through failure is to properly align our self-talk. For example, our failures or mistakes do not need to change our self-worth or our ability to do something. We need to own our actions, learn from them, and move forward. Sometimes we need to pivot or change our direction based on the context of the failure, but we still need to move forward. One way to think of framing our self-talk is through this quote I saw a while ago. There are two ways to interpret the statement. I realize that the world doesn't care. In a negative self-talk context, it would seem to be depressing that the world doesn't care about you or your actions. In a positive self-talk mindset, we would be excited that we can make mistakes, live our life, and the world doesn't care about the little things that we do. We can focus our energy on the positive and not worry about the future or our past, and we can enjoy the present. So this brings us right to our fifth topic now, which is live in the present. Living in the present is very important to thinking positively. If we dwell on the past, on negative things, then we cannot enjoy the moments that we're in right now. Remember how we talked about how we all know people who profess how bad things always happen to them? These people are not living in the present. They're dwelling on the negative past things that have happened to them, and they're anticipating negative things to happen in the future. Enjoy the moment, the simple things. For us, this is our family and our time together. We have certain times that we allow technology in our household. This isn't to punish our kids or that we think technology is bad. On the contrary, we think technology is great and it should be used in a positive way. We don't want to be sucked into the grasp of technology and that we need to rely on it all the time. We need to be able to experience the present. Other simple things to focus on to keep your mind in the present are things such as the warmth of the sun on your face, a cool breeze on a warm day, a conversation with a good friend, taking your dog for a walk outside, or curling up by the fire with a good book, or reading a blog post, or even listening to a podcast on thinking positively. Meditating, exercising, or making supper. We should not need extravagant things to help us enjoy the moment that we're in. Focusing our mindset on these simple, enjoyable things in life will help us live in the present and create a positive mindset. So this now leads us into our sixth topic, which is find positive people, or surround yourself with positive people. Remember how we talked about those negative people? If people around you are always focusing on negative things, slowly that creeps into your own mindset and it makes you think in a negative way. So we need to surround ourselves with those that are positive. Life is much easier to handle when we surround ourselves with positive people who support us and contribute to a healthy environment for us. We need to search for those positive people that contribute to our life in positive ways. Growing up, we all want to fit in. When we go to school, we are often grouped with 25 or 30 kids our own age. Then say during that time when you're growing up, you hung out with the boys or the girls, so you're really grouped with 12 or 15 kids that you tried to fit in with, and you were heavily influenced by them. It may have even felt like there wasn't much choice in who your friends were. If this was the case for you, the good news is the older you get, the larger your school is, and your exposure into other people. You have more choice of who your friends are going to be and who you associate with. You don't necessarily have to stop being friends with people who aren't positive all the time. However, if you surround yourself with positive people, it will help your mindset and help you think more positively day to day. So now this brings us to our bonus thoughts. Number 7. Some people write positive affirmations to themselves and place it on their mirror or their fridge so that they can see those things that they want to align their life with. At BUYXE, we believe that what we wear is important. We believe that the clothing we wear can impact ourselves and others around us. That's why we have focused our clothing on positivity and messages that can impact people in a positive way. We believe that we can impact our own lives and others' lives by the clothing that we wear. We have a full line of clothing that is dedicated to the message of think positive, the whole message behind this podcast. Every time you look in the mirror, take a selfie, or someone sees you when you're drinking coffee, you remind yourself and those other people of the positive choices that we need to make each day. Maybe that simple message on your clothing brings a smile to someone else's face and lightens their day up in a way that it wouldn't have without it. So thanks for tuning in for this podcast. I hope it's helped you with the idea of thinking positively. If you want to see more about our clothing line with Think Positive and our other positive messages, check the link down below in the description. As well, please subscribe and follow us. We hope to see you listening in on our next podcast. Have a great day.